Qualifying for the F1 2024 Chinese Grand Prix Sprint Quali Shootout is complete, and there's not a Red Bull and there's not a Ferrari in the top three because it was Lando Norris from Lewis Hamilton from Fernando Alonso. I'm back to fog racing, and it was easily the best session of the season. I don't think anyone can dispute that, and I'm including races in it, right? Because this one had it all. You know, you've got the shortened sprint shootout sessions, I think, which made it better. I do think because like with the rain coming down, but there was rain throughout. Lance Stroll, what was he, P16 again after getting P1 in first practice. That's diabolical, man. It really is. George Russell, he had a really poor session qualifying in 11. So did Yuki Tsunoda. Such a good season so far, Yuki Tsunoda, and he seemed to have thrown it all away there. In the die numbers of Q or SQ1 sprint qualifying one shootout, whatever, man. There's a lot going on, but it did begin at 8:30, and it is actually the latest session to begin here. But in terms of the final showdown, that's where it began to rain. Russell couldn't improve, but I tell you what, Sauber getting P9 and P10, Zhu Guanyu getting into the top 10 at his home Grand Prix. I believe they said Sauber didn't make it into SQ3 throughout the entirety of last season, which is a mad stat, and that I've never thought that. I mean, they look like the slowest car on the grid, Sauber, alongside Alpine. So for them both to get in here was mental, and I actually think the wet conditions hampered them. I actually think they were a lot quicker in the dry, because in the dry they look to have about the same pace as Mercedes, but obviously not. But we then go in to and obviously due to the SQ3 conditions, the track was recently laid down. The tarmac, it was kind of similar to Turkey of a few years ago. I don't think it wasn't quite as bad as Turkey. I mean, even in the dry, Turkey was horrendous in 2020. It was a great weekend for action scenes and all that good stuff. But yeah, Max flew off. Leclerc flew into the barrier, but he managed to get out. And then there was a bit of controversy because Lando Norris went fastest, what I believe, 3 times, 2 times he had a lap time delayed, and he had his lap time delayed for the last time, but then they reinstated it just as Hamilton went across the line to go even quicker. And you were thinking, Hamilton's been shafted there, but what happened is, I think because Norris went off on his second last lap and begun his last lap, obviously at the same time as going off, they thought that was exceeding track limits, but you know, he didn't gain an advantage from it, man. Going off at the final corner onto the gravel is going to slow you down. It's not going to give you an advantage. So I think people, Team LH, man, crying about this. But I mean, they're talking about the race card. Oh, they just hate a black man on pole position. Lewis Hamilton's got the most pole positions in F1 history. I believe he's got 104 or something. So, you know, if they really hate it, a black man on pole position, I'm sure they would have came up with more reasons to not give him 104 pole positions in the history of F1. But that's low IQ, digit, you know, delusional fanboys of Lewis Hamilton that's getting stuck in to F1. I mean, the rules are, yes, if you exceed track limits, but reality is Norris exceeded it on his second last lap. And yeah, has there been times in the past where if you exceed the final corner, it's that lap and the next lap gets took away? Absolutely, but I think due to rain, they didn't do it. And we've seen it previously where laps get reinstated, so there's no need for tears on that. Alonso got third, Verstappen got fourth, Sainz got fifth, Perez got sixth, Leclerc got seventh, Oscar Piastri got eighth, Bottas ninth, Zhu Guanyu 10th. And I actually think Oscar Piastri shat the bed on this, because I think you could clearly tell that McLaren were the fastest car in the wet, just due to the fact that they went for a lot of downforce, and obviously more downforce is going to help you when it comes to those wet conditions. You could just see that the McLaren was carrying so much more pace than the rest of the teams, but it's set up the sprint race, for a great race. 19 laps, an absolute unknown. I'm not convinced that Verstappen will win it. Now, Red Bull did obviously look the fastest car in the dry, but I think what will be crucial is if Norris can pull a gap and get out of DRS for the rest of them, because obviously McLaren's a bit slow on the straight. Maybe he could win it, guys, but that's where we'll leave this video. It was a great session. It's all you want, man. Bit of rain, bit of chaos, all that good stuff. But until then, peace.